Welcome to my channel, the first of my acrylic painting videos. I have kind of a new setup because the easel that I use for my pastels and my colored pencil work is not sufficient for me for my canvases. So I have this lovely easel that has been passed down from my grandfather to my mom and now to me. So in order to be able to video it, because it's so tall, I've had to set up the camera kind of behind me at this angle. So hopefully this will work. Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully you'll be able to see well enough. I think I can zoom in the post-production part of the video. And yeah, so that's that. So I am using a recycled canvas. It is one that had another painting on it previously, so I have gessoed over it a few times and kind of tried to add some texture into it with the gesso. I'm not sure how well that worked. I'm not sure that I even love this brand of gesso that I bought, but we'll just go with it and do our best. So I'm going to be using Liquitex Studio Basics. They were recommended by several artists, one of which was Lachri from Lachri Fine Art. I watched her videos. These are what she uses, and her style of painting, her glazing style of painting, along with another artist that I'm going to tell you about in a minute, is spot on for my my style and the techniques that I want to use in my paintings as well. I watched a lot of YouTube videos before I got started painting, and there were a few that I found that resonated with me and my style, and she is one of them. So the thing about these Liquitex Basics, I know this is not Liquitex, but I'll get to that in a minute. The thing that I love about these is that they, one, they're extremely affordable. You can get these at Michael's here in the US. At least in Arizona where I'm at, they are $4.99 for a 4-ounce tube. And you can always get a 20% off coupon. So basically they're $4 for a 4-ounce tube, which to me is just, you can't beat that. It's more expensive at Blick than it is at Michael's. Speaking of Blick, I have one locally to me, which is really, really nice. And so I went over there and I purchased a few tubes of paint that where there are colors that were lacking in the Liquitex, in my opinion, or that they didn't have. So I grabbed a few of those, and so I will throw some of those in there as well. Let's see, what is my last, anything else that I want to talk about? So that's the paint that I'm going to be using. I have my, what do you call it? My, it's a palette. It's a special palette that I absolutely love. Oh yes, it's by Masterson. And it is a stay wet palette. So it's kind of a big rectangular tray that you put either a sponge, or in my case, I just put paper towels in, and you get that down. You put a piece of wax paper, which is what I used, down on top of that. And then in between, when you're not painting, you can cover it up with the lid. It seals really nice and tight, and that paint, that acrylic paint, stays wet for days. So I was really happy that I made that purchase. It really has made a difference. Okay, last thing. Our reference photo today is by Anya Antoni. I don't know how the first name is pronounced, and to be honest, I don't even know if it's a man or a woman. It is a wonderful, he, she, I'm sorry, Anya, is a photographer in the Netherlands, and I contacted them and asked if I could have permission to paint the fox, and they kindly gave permission So if you would like to paint the fox as well, just pop over to the Instagram page and that I have linked in the description box down below. And you can shoot them a message and just out of courtesy, ask permission. Maybe tell them that you're, going to be following my my video, although I'm not. Yeah, well, anyway, maybe tell them that you saw it on my YouTube channel and ask permission to use it as well. All right, so I will straight up be honest and tell you that on another canvas, I did try and start on this, and I got the background done and started working on the grasses and hated it. And I tried really hard to work it and work it and work it. And sometimes you just get to a point where you're like, nope, I'm done. I'm done. Call it quits. So we're going to start over because I love the image, and I actually really like the background colors and how the fox stands out on them. So we're going to do the same thing or similar. There are some things I might want to experiment with. We'll see. But no grasses, just a cool fox portrait. So yeah. Alrighty, so let us continue. So in addition to the paint, I'm also going to be using some golden satin glazing liquid, and that kind of helps to make the paint not dry so fast. So we're going to give that a shot. It might make it a little more transparent, so we're going to see. As you can see, there's some remnants of an old sketch on here. I'm hoping that the paint will just eventually cover that up. So I'm just going to start. I am going to paint the whole thing, and then put my my sketch in. So we'll see how that goes. I feel like it's kind of interesting when you are working on a new canvas. It's like, how is this canvas going to perform? I don't know. I know that there's those weird textures on here from a previous painting that I did not do, but so I'm not sure how I'm going to like them. I have some things that I want to experiment with for my backgrounds. Okay, so that was, the yellow was the Studio Acrylic by Blick, the Rosy Beige. And then this is Parchment from Liquitex Basics. And it's kind of, I don't know, this is kind of weird. My other canvases that I've done paintings on before pushed all the way up to the top and were held in. I can't do that with this one. So as I'm trying to kind of get this paint down in a quick manner, I feel like I'm having to hold the canvas down, which is a little frustrating. I don't know that I like that. What I need is like a big block of wood or something there, which I might have and might go to that here in a minute. I don't know. All right, I'm still kind of trying to, yeah, I really don't like this. All right, I'm gonna try something. I had those raised because I wanted to be able to get down low, but it feels a lot better without those in there. That might be the answer. So I'm just kind of adding until I get it the way I like it. Whoops. Got some gray in there. Okay, I think that's all right. Actually, that's my green gray, but actually I don't mind that very much at all. I kind of like that. Let's see. I'm going to start I'm going to go down to the bottom because I would like to add gray to the bottom. I will tell you that I experimented with the painting that I first tried this on was on a canvas board. And I was thinking that I was going to love using this canvas board because I thought, oh, I'll be able to get so much smoother of lines. But come to find out, what happened is that it was too smooth. It wouldn't grip the paint. And when I went over paint that was, you know, wasn't even partially dry, I don't think, it really pulled the paint off a lot. And I did not like that. So I'm thinking I'm happier on canvas. So this is just a regular canvas, but you can get canvases that are called watercolor canvases. And watercolor canvases have a smoother texture to them. And I really like them. That's what I did my very first fox with, was a watercolor canvas, and I really, really liked it. So even though I have all these wonderful canvases that my mom gave me, I'm inclined to say that I'm just going to go buy some of these watercolor canvases. Not these, but watercolor canvases that they have actually at Hobby Lobby, because those go on sale like 50% off every other month. All right, I'm kind of thinking that I should let this dry and then maybe go over it again. I want it to have a decent layer down there. I don't want a lot of this. I can still kind of see some canvas showing through behind, and I think I'll get a really nice kind of blend if I dry that and then come back and do it again. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so it's all dry now, and there are some things that I've kind of wanted to experiment with, and I don't know if I want to experiment with it on this one or not, because there's a little thing. Because I really like the light background behind the fox, but I've been wanting to experiment with texture. And so I think, armed with a rag that has and a spray bottle, so I can wipe it away if I absolutely hate it, and then we'll put the second layers on. I want to experiment a little bit, and I'm not sure if I want to use burnt umber or raw umber. I think I'm going to try the raw umber. Oh, I have a little guest. I have a little guest today. Yeah, so I'm going to try this. I don't know how it's going to turn out. Like I said, this is totally an experiment. And the beauty of the acrylic paint is that if I don't like it and I can't wipe it off, I can paint over it. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just cleaning out my brush, which I should have done a long time ago. Trying to get in the habit of not ever leaving my brushes sitting in water, because I don't want to mess up the bristles of the brush. All right, so do I want to use a paper towel for this? I don't know. Yeah, I better use a paper towel for this. Okay, so I might hate this. I really, honestly, I have no idea how this is going to look. All right, so I'm using some transparent, no, what is this again? This is golden satin glazing liquid. And I want to see if I can pull some texture. Man, that's almost too much of a, that really didn't do anything at all. All right, let's go a little bit heavier. Let's see what happens down here. My thought was that I would try and bring out the texture, kind of like when I would glaze for doing furniture, where you would put the glaze on and then you would, actually I kind of like it, where you would put the glaze on and then wipe it away, and you would have, the glaze would sit in the recessed areas, and but really all it's doing is tinting the canvas. So I think it's going to take something with a little bit more texture to really do what I want it to do. Although I kind of like it. I might come back again after I do the second round of glazing. I don't know. Like in some areas it's really cool. What I do like about acrylic paint as opposed to the other mediums that I play in is the ability to get a really kind of cool painterly hand, I don't know, artsy fartsy look. That's not the right thing to say. That's not what I mean. I don't know what I mean. But you know, I'm kind of liking this as it is now. I'm debating on whether I should just work on top of this as it is. Let's put a little bit more of this color down here. That's half the fun of painting, right? Is experimenting and going, what will happen if I do this? Okay, now all of this, you know, will be fox, so I don't want to. We're just experimenting. I think that was too much. What? Whee! Okay. Okay. Jeez. I don't know what I want. I actually kind of like that. I kind of do like that. Let me just try and see what happens if I put a little bit more white, kind of. okay. I kind of like it as it is. Nope, should have stopped. Should have stopped where it was. That's not bad. Kind of like that. Okay. I do kind of like that. And there's some of the kind of the texture of the canvas showing through under here. But I think I like it. I do. I think I like it. All right. So once again, we'll let that dry, and then I will, while I'm off camera, since I have to use my phone to do it, I will get the sketch on here, and then maybe we'll get to painting. We'll get some base layers, some underpainting done for this one. Okay, so I have the initial sketch down on the canvas, and I used a pastel pencil to do that, because I can wipe it off with water. It'll just come off if there's any marks that are, you know, still showing after I get my painting done. And what I'm doing right now is I am using my proportional divider, and I'm measuring the certain sections of the sketch that's on the thing, on the canvas. And then I'm going through on my iPad, because that is where my reference photo is. I'll just show you what I'm doing. And I'm going through and I'm making, oh, phooey. I have to do it over again. Basically, I'm taking screenshots of what, of my picture, so that I have them ready to go in the size that the canvas is, so that I'm working from a reference photo that is of the same size. So I'm just kind of taking, because it's quite a big canvas, so it's probably going to take me quite a few photos. We'll start there. Yeah, we'll start there. Anyway, I'm getting shots of it so that I have the area that I'm working on in the size that I'm actually working on it with. But really, that's not super important yet, because what I have decided to do is play around with some more texture. And I want to do that. I'm trying to find my palette knife, my other palette knife. Oh, where is it? I don't know. So I guess I'll just use this one. So I want to see if playing around with some more texture is going to make me happy, because what's happening is a lot of the lines are showing from that previous painting that was on here, and I don't like them. So I don't know if this will work, because these are medium bodied paints, not heavy bodied paints. But it might, and it might be really cool. So I am, yeah, so I'm adding the paint in here, in the background. I might like it. And then that way, basically what I'm doing is I'm covering up these lines that I don't want here. I might mix so that really you can't, oh, I kind of like this. Really you can't tell that this was a canvas from before. It's a little bit different than what I had in my head that I was going to be doing on this piece, but I really like it. So I have this little visitor here in my studio that's crawling around. Sorry, little guy. You were not invited. Yeah, so. Right, I like this. So I'm going to add a little bit of another color in here in this white, so it's not strictly white. I'm not sure if I love that color or not. Let's try some yellow. So it's nice about getting the sketch down first, because I don't want this texture in the on the fox itself, because I want to be able to get those nice smooth fur lines. But what's nice about it, about having the sketch down, is that now I know where that edge is, and I can kind of avoid getting my my heavy texture on top or underneath the fox where I don't want it. All right, let's got this blue here. So yeah, it's definitely taking on a different look than what I had going on before. I think I really like it. I'm not sure about this right here. Might want to maybe some, this is the translucent mixing white, just to lighten that color up a little bit. It was a little bit heavier than what I wanted. Okay, this might be my new favorite way of doing backgrounds. I quite like this a lot. I'm mixing some of this gray white with the transparent mixing white, and I'm adding a little bit of that over here. Okay, so there's a heavy line that was there from the previous painting. Which you probably will never even realize now that I've got this texture going on down here. All right, so gray and green. I don't think that this would be as easy if I hadn't put the colors that I'm using underneath to start with. I think it would take a lot more work to get the you know, the paint to cover. But I'm thinking that I am going to like it. What do I want to do right here in this corner? Anything more gray or more what? try something I might not like, so I'm a little nervous. I think I'm going to add some, it's just whatever I have here on the palette, some of that brown. Yeah, I kind of like that. Do I have it maybe a little bit more? I might have to add a little bit more. It's hard to tell if I'm going to absolutely love it until the painting above it gets done. But each piece is a learning experience, right? Each piece is, you're trying to figure out what you like and what you don't like, and I won't know the answer to that until I try some stuff. I want to do a little bit of this over here because I really liked that. I struggled on the first time that I tried doing this with the background because I didn't like the brush strokes that I was getting. I didn't like how it looked. But I like this. Yes, I do. All right, I think that I'm going to call that done. Oh, I really like that. I haven't done one like this before, and it's kind of cool. All right, so I have to let this dry, and this is actually going to take a little bit longer to dry than if it had been smooth and flat, because I've got so many peaks and valleys. Hopefully they don't disappear and flatten out into the canvas, because that would defeat the whole purpose of adding a little bit more texture to it. But on the other hand, I really, yeah, I'm excited to like leave that and then see what the fox looks like on top of that. Now we've got this little area here where in the reference photo, you know, it's quite bright. So I'm not sure how the coloring is going to look on top of this darker area. But everywhere else, I think it will stand out quite nicely. I think I like that. I wanted to do something to balance out what was happening here. But now I'm having another little second guess here. So I'm going to add some more green and hope that I don't hate it. You know, it's like, it's scary to try change. It's scary to do something and then keep going and like say, all right, I'm going to push myself even further, because then you're like, what if I mess it up and I don't like it? And that is an awful feeling when that happens. I totally realize that just sucks when that happens. But I keep telling myself, if I don't push and try something different and new, then I'll never know. I think I really like that. I really like this. So I'm not sure if it's the yellow that I'm not loving or what. I don't know. I don't dislike it. Again, I don't want to lose those texture marks. All right, I'm gonna stop. I don't know. I know I keep saying I'm going to stop because I really like what's happening over here. Hopefully the light is good for you guys to see well. I don't know. It feels a little dark over here. Sometimes the camera picks up pretty good though. This is yucky right here. I don't like that. What do I do? I add more green. What's the worst that can happen? Really? Don't know what to do. Should have left it, right? Should have left it alone. Okay, I need a little bit more white because I'm out. Okay, I think what I'm finding is I like the yellow less and less. But I don't want it all to go away. But I'm afraid if I add anything else, I'm not going to be happy. This is actually, oh no, it's not. This is regular titanium white. Okay. I'm done. I'm done. Okay, so background has to dry, and when I come back, I have no idea how much time I've spent. I don't think I've spent that much time. So when I come back, we'll get the base layers in, the underpainting. Okay, so I think we are ready to work on some base coats. The base coat part is always sort of the hard part for me because I have been doing like the whole thing in the base coat. We're underpainting, so to speak. And normally in the past when I've worked in small sections. So I've done the eye and the nose and kind of worked out. And so you get that that instant gratification that things are going well and doing what you want them to do. But in the case of painting, I've been doing the underpainting all, first. So this is where we come into the ugly stage of our painting. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it and hope that I do it properly. This is the same way that I did, the same method that I did the polar bear on. So I'm hoping that I get similar good results. We'll see. Okay, so for the underpainting, I have pulled out Ivory Black and Mars Black. The Ivory Black is a very warm, almost, I would almost say a touch of brown. I mean, it is a really warm black, but it's also much more translucent than the Mars Black. But I like them both for different purposes. So we have both of those. I have burnt umber and raw umber and neutral gray 5. And I think that's what I pulled out. I did pull out my raw sienna, but I don't think I'm going to use that because right now, basically what I want to do is I want to get really dark layers down first, because if you look at the fur and you look deep into the fur, it's dark down in there underneath all of the, like closest to the skin is very dark. So that's what we need to do first. So I'm just gonna go. So I'm not sure, oh, and let's see, what brush is this? This is like a kind of a medium-sized filbert brush. It might be too small, but we'll see. I'm not sure. So this part doesn't have to be precise because, you know, we are going to be putting a lot of layers on here. I might mix my raw umber and my burnt umber to get a little bit more warmth. I like that better. This part is not going to be pretty, so I'm trying to remember not to worry about whether it's pretty or not. And I might even mix some black in with this, because there's some areas that I want really dark. And then we've got the black areas, which are obviously black. I'm not going to go too dark in here. I think I will make this part a little bit more. Or is that the part that was supposed to be really dark? Now I'm getting myself confused again. No, that's the fluffy light part. I'm going to put a little bit more of the... See, now I wanted this to be light and I made it dark. That's okay. It's going to be fine. Okay, let's see. Really dark in here. It's kind of weird not to have to worry about any brush strokes, really. What I am trying to do, though, is block off a little bit so that I know where some of these, so it's easier for me to find some of the, like this section here, which you probably, well, yeah, you can probably see it. This section here, you know, is a little bit lighter. So what if we do, again, the nice thing about underpaintings are, it's really not a big deal because I'm going to cover it all up. run into times where I've not gotten dark, where I've not gone dark enough. And if you don't go dark enough, then your lighter colors that you go to put on top just are not going to show up because there's not enough contrast. So I'm trying to get in the habit of going dark enough. Okay, this is the red rough. Probably should try and cover up the light color there. Okay, so then we have all of this is dark. Just gonna put some of that in. Black, I want black, I want black, black. I hope this isn't a mistake to do it like this. Well, we'll see. All right, so the tail is quite out of focus and blurry. And I don't see a ton of, I don't see a ton of dark coming through, but I think that if I put some of this on, it'll be better. So I'm not worrying about doing the edges because this canvas is not a wraparound canvas. It's meant to go in a frame, so. All right, I'm gonna put down some of this parchment. No, this is unbleached titanium. I'm just gonna mix a little bit of that in with what I'm doing here, because this is quite a bit lighter. I feel like maybe I'm not using enough water or something. It feels real dry. That's better. A little bit more water. Take care of that. A little bit of, my urge is to really start putting details in, which again just does not. It's not time yet. I have to be patient. Go through this ugly phase. I gotta figure out what to do about the bottom of my canvas. I kind of want to raise it up, but those blocks that I had made it a little bit too wobbly. I'm gonna have to figure something out for that. Okay, let's keep going. Cooper. If you are new to my channel, that is my dog Cooper. He likes to say hi to every single person or dog that walks across the street, which is really annoying when I'm filming, but I'm nervous because it feels icky right now. Yeah, it feels really icky right now, so I'm second guessing everything that I'm doing, and it's slowing me down a bit. Okay, so here's the ear. I'm going to switch to the Ivory Black, which is the more brown, a little more sheer black for right here. I don't know why, just because. And I have no rhyme or reason for why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. I'm just kind of picking where I feel like going. I don't know if that's the proper way to do it or not. But maybe a little bit more. A little bit more water. Okay, now I'm going to put in the gray, the neutral gray 5. And my paintbrush still has black on it, and that's fine, especially for this down here where it's quite dark. Really, this is kind of where the lighter colors are going to be. I want to say white, but obviously it's not white, but God, it's ugly right now. Oh. Okay, all of this is gray. I feel like I want it to be a little darker. Okay, and then we want some gray up in here. is the top of the head. So come on. And all of this, we have to do something. Got to do something here. I'm not sure what the best thing to do is. Black, maybe a little bit more black. I added some more burnt umber into that. Didn't clean off my brush or anything, just dipped it in the paint. Okay. This is really scary to do on camera, you guys. I want you to know. This is like when you know what you're doing, it's a lot easier than when you don't know what you're doing. Okay, so dark. How dark? That might not be dark enough. Let's do a little bit more. All right, so I'm going to clean off my brush because I must have something on there that's making it light. And I will do, I do have one thing to say. And I say it almost every time I do a video, it seems like, but you know, you get people that tell you that if you don't hand draw your reference photo onto your canvas or your paper or whatever, that then you're cheating and all of that ridiculousness. And I will say how I feel about that is, you know, if that's how you feel and you want to hand do your sketch, then by all means, you know, do it, because there's so many different ways to do art. But I used that DaVinci Eye app to get my general shape of the fox down. And as I'm looking at this right now, you cannot in a million years tell me that throwing that down was cheating and that it's given me a leg up, because look how completely, like, by the time I'm finished, there's going to be nothing left of the extremely minimal sketch that I had put down on here. I'm basically starting from scratch. And I say that to you because I don't want anybody, no, that's not good. I don't want anybody who is new to art to feel, to let a statement like that stop them from painting or drawing or doing anything because they feel like they can't draw. that's how I felt. I can't draw, so why am I like, so I didn't even try any of this stuff because I thought, well, I can't draw. I suck at drawing. And until I started realizing that there are tools out there, there are things that you can use to help you get your image down onto the paper. Once I discovered that, a whole world of art opened up to me. So don't let people tell you just because it's not their way that it shouldn't be your way. Do whatever you have to start putting pencils, paint, whatever, to get it down and start playing and start painting and drawing and creating. If that's what you want to do, don't let anybody tell you that your way of doing it is wrong. That was my point. That's all. I just thought as I was doing this, like, how much work I'm going to have to do to get this to where it really needs to be. Because it's really, really ugly right now. Okay, so we have this part. I want to get some light in just right here. We can go back to the dark. Kind of wanting to stay away from the eye. Just yet, and I don't know why, because I kind of want to like do the eye. Eesh, what do I want to do? Let me see here. Okay, so I think this is all that around the eye is black, so I can go ahead and do this. Okay. I hope this is dark enough. This actually looks a little bit more gray. Not gray, but you know, like a cooler brown right in here. So back to the raw umber. Now I have to do the nose, but I want to get this bit a little bit darker. looks pretty dark to me underneath there. And I'm just flicking through my reference photo here for a minute. Is that dark enough? That's probably dark enough. And that's the little light bit. This is the bit that comes up this way. That's fine. Let's get a little bit more color in right here. All right, I'm going to switch to a smaller brush to get the black in on the nose. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I might not even need to do an underpainting on the nose. We could probably just go straight into doing the nose when that time comes. You know, I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm just going to do the nose and the eye together at the same time. I'm going to add a little bit more black in here. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm cautious of using too much water, but then I feel like sometimes I'm not using enough water. You want that paint to build a, flow off the brush nicely. Is that where I want it now? I think so. Okay. Isn't it beautiful? Ah! All right. I think we're going to end this video. I hate to use this as my little thumbnail shot because it'll turn people right away. Like, oh no. But I think it's a good start to get going. So that is where we will end for now, and I will see you all shortly. Please remember, if you liked the video, if you like my channel, even if you, I would love for you to subscribe, but even if you don't subscribe, just hit that like button on the video. It helps so much. You just have no idea how much all of those little likes add up and help to make that video be seen. So thanks again, you guys, and I will see you all on the next one. Bye.